Roosevelt policies of economy, which involve a productive industrial base and a serious regulation of banking. We warned about the role of derivatives in the 1990s. This financial crisis began around 1987 and Greenspan's imposition of derivatives. In 2002, members of my campaign sat down in Barney Frank's office and warned him about the role of derivatives. He said there's no problem. In 2007, I was part of a move to freeze foreclosures called the Homeowners and Bank Protection Act. This would have frozen foreclosures and therefore created a firewall of protection between the blowout of the mortgage-backed securities and the rest of the banking system, which we need to function for the real economy. In 2007, Barney Frank said, no, we don't need to do that, I got it under control. Now what has happened? Foreclosures are spiraling out of control and we still have no solution in sight from the current Congress. So what can be done is this Glass-Steagall policy. This was a bipartisan amendment by McCain and Cantwell, which demonstrates a true patriotic response to defend the interests of our population against those of the international financial system. The solution is not in the budget cuts. The solution is not in rationing health care or in cutting Social Security. That's not necessary. What we have to do is dump the derivative debt, the gambling debt. And you can do this with the Glass-Steagall policy. The Glass-Steagall policy, most people probably know, there's been a lot of discussion around it. But this was the 1933 banking regulation of Franklin Roosevelt, which separated the commercial banks from the investment banks. So if we bring that back, we can defend the commercial banks with federal insurance while we don't for the investment banks. We let them stand on their own. If they're insolvent and they go under. No government taxpayer bailout is necessary for those gambling debts. So that's what a Glass-Steagall would do. We could stop bailing out the trillions of dollars of derivative debt that are sitting there weighing down our economy and every other economy on the planet. So this is the first step. Once we do that, we can issue credit for a productive economy. We need to bring back our infrastructure. We need to increase our energy production. We need to rebuild our waterways. We need high-speed rail. We need nuclear energy. We have to create a future for the next generation. And the only way to do that is if we assert the authority of the United States by saying we are not bailing out that gambling debt of Wall Street. We're going to invest in our people. That can be done. Bailout is not the only solution. Nothing would happen if we would not have this dire collapse if we don't pay this stuff back. The question is what are you doing to actually produce more physical wealth in your economy? So part of my platform is also the space program. We need a mission to actually land somewhere in space. Yeah, we've been to the moon before, but we should actually develop it as an industrial base to go to Mars. Because this is what human beings do. We discover things. And that's how we improve our existence and the existence of future generations. The economy is not really about you and your current budget. It's about what are you producing for the next generation. And we have to make plans right now accordingly. What actions are we taking right now that our children and our grandchildren will be proud of? And it's not going to be a bailout. That's nothing to be proud of. So one other point I want to bring up is this issue on BP right now, that the fact that we're allowing this to go on and this criminal company to continue the cleanup demonstrates the lack of leadership of our president. Because what could be done is that we declare a national emergency and we say we're taking control of this situation. British Petroleum has a history of violating their safety regulations and that have resulted in fatalities in many times. This should really be a criminal case for homicide, not letting these guys run the show. So we need a real president. Obama is not looking out for the interests of the people, either in this situation or in the economic policy. So that's why he's got to go. And so does Barney Frank.